Hello, is anyone here on the call today? It's quiet.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Good. I'm thinking my computer's not working. I'm like, there's nobody talking. There's no sound.
I'm not running the meeting today, am I?
Nope, I am.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Thanks for being ready for it though, LaDon.
I don't know that I was ready for it.
Well, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's the top of the hour, exactly at 1 o'clock. My name is Anthea Martin. I'm the chair of the State Housing Board. Let's open up the meeting with an introduction from Andrew Paredes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Always one of the best of the year with that extra long weekend. And for me personally, to have kiddos home from college, get to see them again around the house with all their friends and et cetera. So just kind of brought some excitement to our home. So that was a good time for me personally the last week. Updates wise, I'm happy to report that we are seeing a great increase and seeing great progress in our end of the year contracting sprint. We have put additional focus and resources into really digging into our backlog of old contracts that haven't had yet to be executed, and seeing some great progress there. With 18 contracts executed over the last month. And probably by the end of this week, that number will be well above 20. So that's very exciting in terms of the effort that our staff and our partner agencies have put into getting these things turned around. So thank you all, both applicants and our public, as well as our staff, putting great effort into that. For State Housing Board business, as you all know, we talked about last time doing our annual private activity bond, or PAB, meeting on December 12th, and we will stick with that. So we'll have our regularly scheduled meeting at 1 o'clock. Judging from our regular business deal flow, I do not think we will need to extend that time frame beyond 3 o'clock. So it looks like we will have the PAB portion of the meeting from 1 to 2:15 as scheduled, and then after that, only a handful of funding deals to discuss. So you State Housing Board members should be in and out in the regularly scheduled time, between 1 and 3 o'clock. And then we also discussed changing our second meeting in December from the 26th, I believe, to December 19. And so we have that officially rescheduled, and we will have a short 1-hour meeting on the books for that on December 19th. So thank you all for accommodating that. I know that our special rulemaking from our Office of Regulatory Oversight needs the meeting to fall in that week, and we don't want it to fall in that holiday week at the end of December. So again, thank you all. Otherwise, I don't really have any other updates for you all, Anthea. I think we're ready to kind of kick off the presentations.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Andrew. Glad you enjoyed your holidays. Next up is the Denver Metro Navigation Campus RFP grant adjustment, and Kelly Barker will be presenting.
And actually, hi, Anthea and everyone. Actually, I will present. We have Kelly here to answer some questions, but I'm going to jump in. This is Kristen Toombs, so it's good to see everyone. I am the director of our Office of Homeless Initiatives, or OHI. Kelly Barker is our manager for our campus programs. And we have a memo directed to your State Housing Board packet. We have a one-page memo in there. The subject is Denver Metro Navigation Campus Grant Adjustments, as you see on the screen here. This hopefully is a quick one, but we also have colleagues, partners from the city of Aurora, Emma Knight and Jessica Prosser, should we have any questions. To summarize, if you might recall in September, and I'm sorry, I have a sad dog behind me, so hopefully you can't hear that. In our September 26th meeting a few months ago, the State Housing Board approved staff's recommendation to award $15.3 million and change, you can see that in the memo, to the City of Aurora to support the creation of the Aurora Regional Navigation Campus. This was per our request for applications for Denver Metro Navigation Campuses that is funded with American Rescue Plan Act funds. Since that award was made, the City of Aurora has come upon an opportunity to acquire an existing property instead of constructing a brand new facility. So the City of Aurora came to us with the request to change the activity of the $15.3 million from new construction to acquisition and renovation. You can see more of those details in the memo, but what is exciting about this is that it will provide increased capacity for the number of people to be served by increasing the series of different beds and ability there. It will also have industrial kitchen, industrial laundry, and a congregate space, as well as other space for services, more so than the new construction project would have. And in addition, it will enable Aurora to open the navigation campus up to 2 years sooner by simply doing some renovations as opposed to brand new construction. Our staff reviewed this, the updated request, through the same parameters that we reviewed the original request through the RFA, and we are coming to the board today to recommend approving this request from the City of Aurora. Please note that we are not changing the amounts. They will still follow the parameters and the aim and the goal of creating the navigation campus in the City of Aurora, which will, if you need a reminder of what that is, a navigation campus is a co-location of emergency shelter, transitional housing, other bed space, along with services and basic needs, so that someone who's experiencing a housing crisis does not need to logistically move throughout the city or the region, and instead all of it is co-located in one place. That is considered a promising and best practice for helping expedite someone's housing crisis and resolve their homelessness. So with that, I can stop and have any questions. And we've got Kelly and Aurora folks here.
So we have a question from Nancy. You're on mute, Nancy.
All these buttons. You'd think by now. Anyways, thank you, Kristen, and thanks to Jessica and Emma for your hard work on this. It's really exciting. I'm wondering, in the packet, it said the location to be disclosed, and I get why that is. You're negotiating a real estate deal, but I'm just curious as to how far this new site will be from the original site. That was, as an Arapahoe County person, I was concerned about that distance to begin with. So I'm wondering, can you give us a rough idea of how far north that might be?
Yeah. Hi, Nancy. And hey, everyone else. My name's Emma Knight, Manager of Homeless Programs for the City of Aurora. Good question. It's really close to the previous location, within like a mile or two of that. So it really doesn't change the location that much based on that. So yeah, I don't think you should have any concerns about the location.
Thank you. Thanks for your hard work on this.
Thanks, Nancy.
Any other questions from the board before we ask for a vote of approval? Rick Garcia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick question for the Aurora staff. Is this acquisition already under contract? Is this going to expedite the access to start operating the program quicker than new construction?
Yes and yes. We are in the process of going through our due diligence right now. within the real estate deal. They have accepted our offer, and we're just going through all the follow-up process with that at this point. And yes, this should absolutely get our program on board much faster, potentially by this time next year. That'd be the earliest we could get it done, but that's much faster than we were originally anticipating with new construction.
All right, that's good to know. And I assume you're not anticipating any concerns, residents, neighborhoods. Has all that been cleared for this new site?
We will be doing a lot of community outreach once we finalize our deal. Because we're still in this active real estate process right now, we're not disclosing the location yet, which means we haven't reached out to the surrounding community yet. But we'll absolutely be doing good neighbor agreements and working with the community to make sure that our presence is something that is helpful, not harmful.
All right, thank you.
Sam?
Thank you, Anthea. Emma, do you anticipate any displacement or relocation of existing residents?
From our understanding, there are not any long-term residents currently staying at the location that we're purchasing. So no, we don't see that as an issue.
Okay, thanks so much.
Great. Can I please ask for the board to move to approve the RFA grant adjustments?
This is Candace, and I make that motion.
Thank you, Candace.
I'll second.
Thank you, Nancy. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Next up is the application review. Sam? You're on mute. I think you said.
Didn't mean to hit my, I was trying to lower my hand. I apologize.
No worries. So first up is Villa Andrea, and presenting will be Fallon Miller.
Thank you, Anthea. Today with us, we have Kim Bowman from Posada to present. Kim?
Great. Thanks so much for the opportunity to be here today to present this project to the State Board for consideration of funding. Villa Andrea, as you know, is a 32 unit. 31 units will be utilized for low-income individuals in the Pueblo community. Pueblo is not unlike any other place in the state. We have identified a need for 9,600 additional affordable housing units in the next 10 years. Posada has been developing affordable housing since 1997. We are identified as the singular community housing development organization in the community. And our experience is we have developed, we've constructed, we've rehabilitated and preserved 127 units in our history. We are excited about this project and the ability to sustain housing for a large population of individuals who have been discharged from the Colorado Mental Health Institute. And these individuals are in residence with a wide array of supportive services. Posada intends to preserve this housing development in its affordable existence and to be able to extend use once vacancies are presented to enable our programs to be supported. Just so you can have some background, we're in a position here with such a critical housing shortage in the Pueblo community with a 3% availability of affordable housing units that our case managers once took 30 days to identify available units to support individuals in our programs. Those same case managers are spending up to 6 months now trying to identify available units. So it's a tremendous hardship on our programs and our ability to serve the homeless and the low-income individuals in our community. Very appreciative of the staff recommendation for the $1,105,000. I will just identify that the $255,000, $700 owner equity is being presented by Posada. And that's a hardship, given a small nonprofit's capacity. We do have the ability to support that, but if the board has any availability to increase that amount to $1,360,700, we'd be sincerely appreciative. I'm open to take any questions that you might have in regard to this development or the experience or the work that we're doing in the public community.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
I noticed that you're not taking a developer fee, and it doesn't look like you have an asset management fee or anything in here. Will you be taking some kind of consultant fee? Is there any fee that will go back to the nonprofit for the work that you're doing on this?
There is not. And that's just, another hardship that comes with developing affordable housing these days. We've been working on this project, and I think the original application was submitted in March. And so for nearly 9 months, we've been working to get this project before you. Another example would be a LIHTC project that we worked on for 2 years, again, with a deferred developer fee. So we're working tremendously to expand and to preserve affordable housing in our public community, and almost always without a developer fee. And this has been going on for several years. And so we're grateful for the Choto operating support that the state's been providing to us, and that's at an average of about $35,000 a year. So that supports all of our development activities, and everything else that goes along with developing the housing that we're introducing into the public community is done at cost of the agency.
Thanks for explaining that. And you had requested that the amount funded be increased. I think you said 1.3 million. What would those additional funds be for?
To alleviate the owner equity, which is at $255,700.
Would those additional funds allow you to get any kind of fee?
No, but I'd be happy to bypass that owner equity in exchange for a developer fee, defer a developer fee, or to bypass the developer fee.
Any other questions from the board? Sam?
Thank you. Kim, who currently owns the project?
It is owned by Indian Creek, I believe. And it was a LIHTC project that was developed, and Bill Simpson is a principal owner in that.
Okay. When you presented the pro forma to the state staff, did you present it with no developer fee included in the pro forma?
Yes.
And I guess I'm curious with the staff, would it have made a difference if the pro forma included a small developer fee for this nonprofit? Would you have recommended a higher amount?
So Sam, I'll answer that one quickly. We tend to exempt acquisition cost from our, from earned developer fee. We ask that our developers always defer all of the acquisition cost part of a developer fee. So to answer your question, no, it likely would not have, as this one is essentially a straight acquisition with minimal rehab or construction cost / risk. So had it been presented with a developer fee, we would have asked or required that developer fee all be deferred as part of our standard underwriting guidelines policy.
So in those standard underwriting guidelines, Andrew, would that also include the expectation that the owner provide some equity?
Not always. No, that is not, a requirement of equity is not part of our standard underwriting guidelines. However, this award was recommended at this level so that it did conform to all of our kind of standard underwriting metrics. And I'll look, I see Fallon's on the screen who underwrote this. I'll look to Fallon to provide details in terms of what the exact underwriting guidelines and parameters were considered.
Yeah, so part of the reduced award was due to the debt coverage ratio at the higher award amount that DCR was well above a 1.15. So we have been, due to the amount of available funding we have currently, have been pushing to underwrite these deals down to a 1.15 at least. Also in the consideration of this project and the funding amount was the fact that no new units are being created, and there is already a 40-year use covenant on this project that goes for another, oh, I don't remember off the top of my head, another 26 years-ish. So we're only gaining, I think it was 4 years out of this deal of additional affordability. So that was also a big consideration on this.
Thank you, Fallon. And Kim, one last question. I didn't see that there was any local commitment of funding or foundation funding. Have you sought any out?
We're seeking it. We are continuing to seek that in the hopes that we can reduce that $255,000 700 hardship on our agency.
Okay. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Kim, did you ask the State Housing Board or state staff if they would consider, instead of the owner equity, including a developer fee that was 100% deferred?
No, Madam Chair, I was informed that developer fee was not available with this particular project, that being an acquisition project, since it's not a new construction project.
Got it. And Andrew, I think you mentioned that if the developer fee was included, they would all have to be deferred. Is that something that could be considered?
I do not think it could be, nor should it be, in terms of us sticking to our standard policy and guidelines. As Fallon explained, this is a straight acquisition of a property that is already, affordable for the long term. We certainly want to support its trade here and being now run by Posada and the good work that they do down there. But, with an eye towards really trying to be as consistent as possible. And unfortunately, we are in an environment of more demand on our resources than resources. We really recognize that we have pushed a number of applicants as far as possible, while still trying to ensure that all the projects are able to get done.
That makes sense. Thank you, Andrew. And I know I can probably find this by digging in, but is this the Section 8 vouchers? Are they project-based or tenant-based? Are there any here?
No.
None?
No vouchers.
No vouchers. Okay. But you could accept tenant-based vouchers and bring in some additional income here.
Right. And we'll look forward to that as well.
Sure. Any other questions from the board? Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Fallon. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Next up is Fitzsimmons Gateway, and presenting today is Demetra English.
Hello. Today we have with us George Thorne and Adam Morgan to present Fitzsimmons Gateway.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Demetra, and thank you, board members, for your consideration of our project. I'm Adam Morgan, the financial consultant for the project. Fitzsimmons Gateway is a unique opportunity to provide 210 units of affordable housing. It's an ideal location in Aurora. The site's on the southeast corner of Colfax and Peoria, adjacent to the existing Hyatt House Hotel, which was also developed by BMC Investments, the developer on this project. The Hyatt House has about 100 employees, so there are job opportunities right there on site. There are also many more job opportunities at the medical campuses just to the north, at the Fitzsimmons campus. For those that work elsewhere, their site offers excellent transit with high-frequency bus routes on Peoria and Colfax, and is about a mile from the Peoria Light Rail Station. The project's going to serve residents from 30 to 70% AMI and is providing a full 30 units at 30% AMI. Project amenities include in-unit washer and dryers, the community room, exercise center. There's a beautiful outdoor plaza on the main level that really activates the ground level. And then also 3 outdoor plazas that are just for the residents on the 3rd floor. The project's being developed by BMC Investments with Mile High Development serving as the development consultant. BMC has completed an impressive array of many projects, including residential multifamily, office, hotel, and retail projects. In just the past 7 years, they developed projects totaling over $425 million. Again, thank you for your consideration of this project. We would welcome any questions you might have.
Thanks, Adam. I see you've got Prop 123 funds here. Do you have a backup
Yes.
plan for those funds?
Excuse me, can you say that again, Anthea? I'm sorry.
Do you have a backup plan, or do you have a certain level of assurance that you'll be getting that funding?
Well, we don't have assurances that we're going to get that funding. We've applied for it. Anticipate. I think we'll know in January or February if we're approved for those funds. We don't have any insurances on that yet. We're still, seeking other sources here as well, trying to really fill, with interest rates kind of going up and down, there's challenges across the board here. So, looking at if there's any value engineering we can do, things like that. But we don't have a backup for that funding.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Sam?
Thank you. Adam or George, I didn't see any land costs in the pro forma. Did I just miss it, or how's that being handled?
Oh, good.
Yeah, Sam, if I can answer that. This is George Thorne. Thank you, members of the board and the DOLA staff. You've been great to work with on all of our projects, but on particularly this one, which has had a lot of challenges, but I think we've overcome them. We're going to do a land sale leaseback deal with Urban Land Conservancy to remove the land from the project. It's already a big enough project. So ULC and Mile High have done similar leaseback deals before. We're very familiar with it. We submitted to CHAFA for a land banking grant under 123, which is a separate type of funding under Proposition 123. And we've made the cut down. I think there were 120 initial applicants, and we've made the cut down to the last 25. And I think they're going to announce right before or right after the concessionary debt amounts that Adam just referred to. And, CHAFA has to play this close to the vest as they do everything on allocation, but we've been, all the way along. I think we feel like we have a really good shot. We check all the boxes. They're looking for an early use of these funds. The state OEDIT, which is the other leg of the approval stool, I think everything they've said indicates that they would like to see a shovel-ready project, and this one couldn't be more shovel-ready because we're planning to close in February, and we've got both U.S. Bank and KeyBank involved in the project, and we're in good shape there. So what Adam and I have both been doing is working hard on this gap funding because it changes all the time. But, we've had as many as 6 or 7 different line items and never been below 4 or 5. I think today we have 6 that get us there. We'll do a little more value engineering because we've had this job tied up with a contractor for a long time, and prices have actually improved, if anything. But we think we're in good shape. The funding from DOH will make this thing complete, and we're really appreciative of your considering it. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Anthony, if I can, 1 or 2 other brief questions. I noticed that the DC, the debt service coverage ratio was fairly low on this project. Is that acceptable to your investor and lenders?
We're still seeking that approval. The Proposition 123 secondary debt does allow you to go down to 1.10, I believe. So I think from that standpoint, we're okay. It's getting the permanent, lenders and investors okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Look like a good project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I saw a date in here somewhere that the US Bank equity pricing is held until the end of January. It sounds like that you're not going to close by then. My guess.
We're probably looking at, assuming the other financing pieces line up in February, but indications are that, that they would be able to extend beyond that. We don't have a formal extension of that, but that's what they haven't expressed any issues. We've kind of floated that as a possibility. We're still hoping to close here early February there, but they haven't balked at changing that.
Okay. And would the Prop 123 be hard pay or soft pay? Hard pay?
It is. The concessionary debt is a hard pay.
Okay.
Yeah. We're assuming an interest only at 2.5% hard pay.
Got it. All right. Well, Freddie will let you go to 1.1 and Fannie could let you get to a 1.05 if that helps.
Yeah, I think that thank you for that. Yeah, that would be helpful. Sometimes the equity investors get a little nervous with that, so we're still trying to get them comfortable with that. So hopefully we can get there.
Good.
Those are our two primary targets right now, and we're talking to both of them as recently as today. So
Great.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you all for the presentation. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Sure thing. All right. Well, next up is Mineral Point, and presenting is Andrew Atlee.
Thanks, Anthea. From TWG to talk about Mineral Point over in Crested Butte, we've got Ryan Kelly and Megan Adams on the line. So I'll let you guys take it away.
Yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity. This is Ryan Kelly from T2G. So this is a deal in Crested Butte that has a 9% tax credit award. Obviously, being a rural, tough to build location, the costs are high, but the town's really stepped up in a big way. This is really the last parcel of size that the town has kind of taken the lead on getting some environmental cleanup and among other things. The design requirements has really driven the cost up from a rural standpoint. Obviously, since that kind of award, interest rates have gone up. So we're with you today to request a supplemental or really just a initial loan amount of $1.8 million that is cash flow payable. As with these small rural deals, there's very little cash flow. So we're just trying to manage the deferred developer fee, how that can be paid back, the declining DCR. It's kind of a fine science on how to try to get all these things to align. So as you can see here with the pictures, beautiful site, really trying to get it to fit in with the historic elements, and the green energy requirements have been a challenge cost wise. So obviously staffing is part of that too. So we're working with the Gunnison County Housing Authority as well. I know they've got another site, so I think this actually supplements their deal a little bit to get some economies of scale. So I think overall it's just been a great project to work with the community. As far as soft financing across the board, again, I hate to kind of hammer this home, but the town has really stepped up in a big way with millions of dollars pre-application to get it to a point where it could be applied for, get site control. And so I really do give them kudos to kind of put their money where their mouth is to get this there. So this is a 34 units. There's 5 studios, 23 1-bedrooms, and 6 2-bedrooms with a mix of 30 to 60% AMI. The vacancy rate will and has been pretty much 0. So there won't be a lease-up issue. Obviously, a super high demand area, high cost area. So yeah, happy to answer any questions. But roughly, it's about a $17 million project, and we're asking today for $1.8 million.
Thank you, Ryan. Any questions from the board? All right, we'll let you off easy today, Ryan. Thank you for the presentation.
I like that. Thank you.
Should be a short meeting today. Next in Last up is going to be the project application votes. Do we have anyone who needs to recuse themselves from any of these deals? Hearing none, if I can request an approval for Villa Andrea, Fitzsimmons Gateway, and Mineral Point.
So moved.
Thanks, Sam.
Second, Nancy.
Thank you for the second, Nancy. All those in favor signify by aye or a hand raise.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Well, congratulations to all the applicants. You have an approval. We will see you all in a couple of weeks here.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.